Hi, my name is Gabi, also known as Mrs Pigeon, and as it's the new year... It took way too long to pick that up. I have a brand new bullet journal, which I want to show you today, with all my New Year's goals in it. So let's just whack into it. So the first page we get to is who the journal belongs to. You have no idea how scared I was about messing this up. If you mess your name up and the date up, it's not a good sign. Then we have the brand page. And then we get to the key and the index. On the bullet code side, I did circles for things that need doing, and then squares for things that are more important. And I did a little star for like special occasions, you know, birthdays and such, and then holiday events. And then the H for holiday is for the very top of the days of the week. That's if I'm off work for holiday, or if I'm on a holiday, which I don't think will be happening anytime soon anyway. And then the dash is for a rest day. I tend to accidentally do a bit of work every day. And then the triangle is not something I intended, but we are in a pandemic, so it just means this might not happen. And then I go back and add some a bit later. In all honesty, I didn't need to fill in the colour code, in my opinion, but I didn't want to leave it blank, so I just thought I'd fill it. And the index, this was actually very handy for me to keep track of what pages I need to fill out. I didn't really need to fill that in either. I didn't actually intend to get a book with page numbers, but it's that extra organisation, isn't it? It actually did help me keep track of counting how many pages for each month I was supposed to be doing. Moving on to this blank page spread, I know I wrote the 1st of the 1st 2021, but you know, writing this really confirms that the entire book is about the entirety of 2021, just in case anyone steals it. This double page spread is about the year overall, it's about the goals, and it's just a big overview of the calendar. I wrote out my goals and they may seem like there's a lot. These are all things that I want to do. I could start any time of the year. So the health goals: take up running, improve asthma and stamina. I want to reduce dairy to about 0 to 5%. I wrote it the wrong way around. Just because I am dairy intolerant and I'm trying to follow a predominantly vegan lifestyle. And the last thing in my health goal is weight training, because I want to be really strong. So within the past couple of years, I've mentioned that I've been wanting to lose weight and all that jazz. I would like to lose between 3 to 4 stone. I no longer need to lose 3 to 4 stone. It's more like 1.5, 2 stone. And I think in one of my videos last year I mentioned that I've lost a bit of weight. I actually lost over 2 stone. This isn't so much about wanting to lose weight now. I actually really like my body, except for this. Just because it really shows up on camera and it annoys me because it doesn't show up that much in real life. Double chins are a thing. It happens, especially nowadays when we're all looking at our phone, which makes me sound really old. I've been extremely underweight. I've been just skinny. I've been healthy. I've been slightly toned. I've been slightly overweight, which I am now. I've been obese. I've had a pick of everything, and I was never confident throughout any of it. Even when I was like a super healthy weight and I had quite a bit of muscle and I had more strength and I could actually breathe, I didn't have the confidence, whereas now I think I've just worked on it and realised that confidence is not to do with how you look, it's to do with how you feel. I mean, I do struggle with breathing because I'm asthmatic, and it has gotten worse from my weight gain, and it's improved since I've lost some weight. So if I lose just a little bit more, I will be able to breathe properly, and I do like the idea of being able to run, because I can't run to literally save my life. If a murderer ran after me, it wouldn't be the murderer that kills me, it would be the asthma. Moving on to skill goals, that's not kill goals. I mentioned this last year actually in my goals. The next thing I've been wanting to do for ages but just haven't done it, which is to learn how to sew and to do other textiles-y stuff. I just never got around to buying myself equipment that would allow me to sew. That's such a lame excuse, I know, but I just forgot about it. As for my clutter goals, one of the things I really need to do is to teach myself and play more of my keyboard. My goal is, by the time I move out of this flat, if I haven't even remotely taught myself anything on the keyboard, I'm just going to sell it or donate it because it takes up a lot of space. The other thing is to reduce my clothing by at least 50%. I always used to rely on clothes to feel good about myself. I used to shop to deal with any issues I was feeling, and I just felt like the more clothes I had, the better. And there is this really weird stigma that you shouldn't wear the same outfits more than once, which is so silly. I don't know why that's a thing. Like, we all have washing machines, or we have access to a washing place, so why can't we? I'm sitting in front of chest of drawers right now with the sheet but beforehand I had chest of drawers that completely broke because it was so full up with clothes. I just think it's so much better for your mind and for your space to just declutter. I do want a more minimalistic lifestyle just because people always seem happier when they're minimalists. Hobby goals. I would like to read at least one different book per month. I have struggled with reading, not because I can't read, but because sometimes when I'm reading my eyes just go over the words but my mind's racing with other things and I don't take in the story. So I do like the idea of reading quite a bit. I know it's really good for your brain, especially before you try and sleep. And then finally, life goals. So my fella Jack and I are hopefully going to move into a house here in Bognor sometime this year, sort of summertime. I'll probably talk more about that at the time, to be fair. The other side here, like I said, is the big calendar. You'll see I actually colour code the months by their own colour when I do a bit more of an overview of the book. We're not going to talk about that. I can't bring myself to mention any more about it. It's just sad. I've marked the special occasions, such as birthdays and anniversaries, in sort of golden tone to match the golden leaf of the front of the book. And then the holidays and events like that are marked with a dark green to match the front of the book. Moving on now to January, which is now. So the first proper page of January has events and goals listed, and the other half is a more zoomed in calendar. So the events are just usually like birthdays and anniversaries and holidays listed, just so I can see them in list form, which is quite easy to read compared to the little rectangles on the calendar. And the goals are just things I want to do in a month. And then when I do my seasonal favourites or seasonal review, whatever I'm going to call it for this year, I'm going to refer to the goals and be like, did I do this one? The days of the week are colour-coded as well. I like to do a rainbow whenever I write about the days of the week because it makes a perfect rainbow of primary, secondary and pink colours. Moving on to the actual weeks in more depth, I decided to do a week per page rather than a week across 2 pages, which I think I did in my last journal. And because of the gaps from where the weeks start at different times, this time round I thought I'd fill it in with a quote about the new year. It says, "What the new year brings to you will depend a great deal on what you bring to the new year," by Vern McKellen. And I just think it's a nice quote. The little strip at the top of the rectangles is the amount of time I want to work. It will have my shift times for my job on the weekdays, unless I'm on holiday, which will have an H. And I have them for the weekend as well, because on one of the days I might want to do a bit of YouTube. As you can see, I do the little star for the event or the occasion, and I also underline it, just to make it more clear, like, this is an event, this isn't something you've got to do. On some of the weekends, I haven't done a strip. If there's some kind of holiday, for example Valentine's Day, I didn't do a strip, but you'll see that in a bit. After doing the days of the week, I wanted to end a part of the month on faves, so I write down my favourites of the month, the favourite thing I've watched. You know how favourites go when it comes to YouTube and blogging and all that. They've also got like a little sort of, not colour code, but just a little bit of a rainbow sneaking in there. And then when I do my seasonal favourites, I'll just compile the absolute favourites over the 3 months and bosh it from there. So I have 2 graphs. One of them is more about joy and being happy, and the other one is more about getting stuff done. The graph, which you're now seeing at the top, that's about productivity and exercise. Let's just ignore what I colour code them because it doesn't match the colour code at the beginning, which I didn't even need to fill in, but oh well. So productivity is just the amount of hours I was productive. I'm not going to include my job. And the green is exercise. And that could be anything. That could be housework, walking around a supermarket, or it could be actually exercising properly. And that's also in hours. Obviously, I'm not properly timing myself, so these are estimates. And then the bottom one for the joy and happiness and all that is about sleep, play, and mood. So sometimes I have a really bad habit of just doing lots of work and then thinking that going to sleep is the right kind of way of relaxing, but it's not. And I've also had really bad sleep for the past few months, so I thought I'd monitor the amount of hours I sleep, and I'm also aiming to wake up a little bit earlier every day. That's also based on hours. And then mood is just based on out of 10, how I felt by the end of the day. And then when I connect them all up, they'll look like pretty little constellations. So that's basically the general rule I'm following for each month, and then every 3 months there'll be the seasonal favourites. After filling all the writing, line work and colours, I then went back and added in stickers where there were gaps. Some of the stickers, the little cat ones, were gifted to me by my sister a couple of years back, and the big colourful stickers were gifted to me by my sister, spoiler alert, this Christmas, which was very handy. I also had some washi tape that I had lying around, I've had for a couple of years, and I just did random patterns with that too. Much more colourful compared to last year, much more character. So this is it for my bullet journal video. Sorry that it's not the neatest thing in the world. This is only my second time doing it and I cannot use rulers. I don't know why. I always end up going like that and it just goes off an angle and I get even more annoyed because I used a ruler and still cocked it up. So it's not the best. However, if you did enjoy this video and you did like the journal and everything, then give the video a like. If you like to share it to your buddies, then go ahead. If you'd like to see the rest, you can subscribe to the Pigeon's Nest. Don't forget to let me know what you want to see next because I always run out of ideas. Don't forget to whack the bell button so that you know I'm there. Happy New Year. Let me know your goals down below and if any of them are the same as mine. And let's just try and survive this year. Bye!